Boston doesn't call time. Archibald intercepted by Bobby Jones, and the game is over. Bobby Jones intercepted the pass.
And they're still talking about that key play Sunday, which snuffed out the last Celtics hope. And the question, why didn't the Celtics call a timeout? Maxwell gets the rebound and finds Tiny Archibald, and there's Bill Fitch signaling in the corner for a timeout. But Tiny said, I didn't see Bill Fitch calling for the timeout. An official ran in front of him, and with the speed of the play, Tiny obviously did not see his coach, and now brings the ball up himself. Fitch said, Tiny's out there. It is his decision, and he knew that he was going to his ace, Larry Bird, but so did Bobby Jones know, and this outstanding defensive player said, I knew the Celtics were going to Larry Bird, and Jones made the key interception to end the game. On the floor was Larry Bird. He said he was not fouled, that Bobby Jones had better position for the ball. Thus ended dramatically the key play in game number 4 of this Eastern Conference Finals, and the Celtics have nowhere to go from here. Philadelphia leading 3-1. The Boston Celtics are getting a tremendous standing ovation from a full house, and they hope it's not the last game they see this year, as we welcome you to the 76ers and the Celtics in Game 5 of our Eastern Conference Finals on CBS.
Welcome to the NBA Championship Playoffs. Tonight, game number 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Philadelphia 76ers visit the Boston Celtics. This CBS Sports Special is sponsored by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. Lowenbrau, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau. And by Kemper and the independent insurance agents who represent us. For all of your insurance needs, ride with Kemper.
Welcome to Boston Garden, and they're going crazy, and they hope they see a 7th game on Sunday. And only 3 teams in the history of the NBA have come back from a 3-1 deficit to win a best-of-7 series in 35 years. The Celtics did it in 1968 against these 76ers. Last year, Boston edged Philadelphia in the regular season and then were blown out in 5 games in the Eastern Finals. And this year, once again, they're trailing 3-1. And so, Kevin Lockery, the big $64,000 question has to be, why is Philadelphia dominating Boston so much?
Rick, surprisingly, Philadelphia has been a way more aggressive defensively than Boston, particularly with big men. At the center spot, the key spot in the team, Darryl Dawkins and Caldwell Jones have dominated Robert Parrish in the center spot over the last 2 games. Bobby Jones and Dr. J have done a great job on Larry Bird over the last 2 games. It's a tough fight to win 3 in a row from this Philadelphia team, but what must Bill Fitch do as far as getting back in this series? Well, Boston has to be more aggressive defensively. They have to pick up full court like they used to. They have to, on the offensive end, I think we'll see more of the rookie Kevin McHale, the center forward rookie Kevin McHale, and the guard Joe Henderson coming off the bench to give him some outside shooting. Henderson didn't play at all in the other game, and McHale only played 11 minutes, and Billy Cunningham, looking for his first title, needs to get by Boston. Irving, Caldwell Jones, Dawkins, Hollins, and Cheeks. And for the Boston Celtics, who have nowhere to go if they lose tonight, Maxwell, Bird, Parrish, Archibald, and Ford, and we're just about set to go. We have the officials, Al Strom and Hugh Evans will be doing the game. Bill Czar is the alternate. I believe we have 2 outstanding officials in Strom and Evans. Evans is the most improved official that I've seen since I've come back to the NBA. He's just improved greatly each year. Earl Strom's a great veteran. I think they'll let these players play tonight. They'll be very physical. And you just saw Robert Parrish, and there's a big burden on his shoulders because he has just not done the job. Caldwell Jones, on the other hand, has done the job in a defensive posture for the 76ers, who are in the dark uniforms. They're red. The Celtics in the white with green. They've played a lot of important games on this Boston Garden court in the past, and the Celtics are more confident naturally playing here. Lionel Hollins, guarded by Chris Ford. Cheeks on a switch. Ford guarding him in the corner. Dr. J puts up a tough shot, double team to the baseline. Here's Bird. And Kevin, of course, is watching for any adjustments made from games 4 to game 5. Hollins on Ford. Bird puts up the shot and hits. Larry Bird got off to a 1-for-8 first half on Sunday against the Sixers, putting Boston in front. Cheeks penetrating to the hoop. Throws the ball, last touch by Bird.
These teams divided the first two games. Philadelphia won the opening game of the series 105-104, and that's been the key thus far. Boston won game two. Philadelphia won both games at the Spectrum. And we have an offensive foul called against the Sixers. Lionel Hollins. Hollins, of course, that took over the starting role from rookie Andrew Toney, but Toney's been the leading scorer against the Celtics in the playoffs. You'll see a lot of him. Backing his way to the hoop is Archibald. And Caldwell Jones loses the ball to Maxwell. This time he holds on to it. Cheeks pops outside and misses, and Parrish the rebound. They almost traveled going for that loose ball. Two Celtics underneath. Maxwell. So they start out with Caldwell Jones on Maxwell. And Irving is on Bird. Ford. Ford got hot in the second half, wound up with 16 points Sunday. Same amount of points he had in the final regular season game when Boston won a big one over the Sixers. Bird is on Caldwell Jones. And a foot block, still Philadelphia ball.
So far, Dick, Boston has decided not to run too many players early. They're going to move the ball, get everybody involved in the offense, which is a real good idea. They haven't hit their shots, but they've gotten good shots. That's all you can ask.
They have a full 24 seconds. To the Sixers as the pass is thrown away by Dr. J. Hollins cutting across. Here's Archibald. He hasn't penetrated as much as he liked, and if he does that, he'll score that way.
Philadelphia's going to get a quick timeout right here. I think it's a good idea. They're not as sharp as they had in the past. They've had a couple of turnovers. They don't really look aggressive defensively like they have the past. Boston looks like they're ready to play.
It's only 4-0, but a good time to say, let's talk things over. In 1968, when the Celtics were trailing 3-1 and ultimately beat the 76ers, they won 2 games in Philadelphia. And Dr. J, who's off to a slow start, his head not quite in the game as of yet. Bobby Jones could be making an early entrance in this game. Cunningham, by the way, the coach, had a broken wrist in that series in '68. So it's 4-0. Boston off to a quick lead, but more than the points, they're playing crisp basketball. Parrish gets his hands on it, and that's another good play. It disrupts the Sixers.
Sixers have yet to run a play right in the first couple of minutes, and they really are not in sync like they have been in the last 2 basketball games.
And it's kind of understandable. I just don't think you can keep it on going the way they have the last 2 games with such intensity. But there's a lot of time as Dawkins takes steps.
But they're really only up 1 game here. As far here's a play by Dawkins. He's too far away from the basket to be even thinking about making a move, and he does walk on the play. Good call.
Tiny Archibald now get back to live action. Larry Bird misses outside. Irving has given himself up offensively to watch Larry Bird in this series, and Maxwell is called for the loose ball foul. Bill Fitch hoping that he isn't just rated a good regular season coach, but a good playoff coach as well. So he has a lot to prove in the remainder of this series. Opening quarter, 9:25 remaining. The Sixers haven't scored yet, and there's their first points by Darryl Dawkins. Dawkins averaging nearly 12 points a game in this series. Has averaged only 22 minutes the other day. Tiny misses the shot inside. Boston's missing. They could be up by a lot more. Just playing sloppy basketball right now, and Cunningham saying, let's get it together. Boston ball.
I wouldn't be surprised, Dick, to see Bobby Jones coming off the bench real quick along with Andrew Toney for Philadelphia.
They need some sort of spark, but the Celtics are not helping themselves by missing a lot of the shots that they have had. Chris Ford, no good outside. Good boxing out by Philadelphia. Here comes Cheeks, a 3-on-2, but a good stuttering defense by Boston. Hollins hits outside, and it's a 4-4 game. Tiny pushing the ball up. Celtics haven't done enough of that. Maxwell didn't know Ford was coming with the pass, and on a 3-on-1, Lionel Hollins puts the 76ers in front for the first time. Quick pass back to Tiny, and now Fitch wants a timeout. And Boston could not catch Philadelphia asleep with a lot of baskets early, and so as a result, timeout, 8:33 to go in the first. The Sixers are up.
Well, 6-4 is a tough time to call timeout. This is the playoffs. They call much quicker timeouts than the regular season.
Martina Navratilova is our defending champions, and you'll see the women's tennis on Saturday. Boston inbounding. Parrish 0-0. And on a weave outside, Celtics trying to set up something on the perimeter. Celtics 2 for 8 from the field. Philadelphia 3 for 6 starting. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Irving's doing quite a job on Bird. Baseline shot. This isn't Caldwell Jones. Fights for the loose ball with Maxwell. Philadelphia ball.
That was excellent defense by Dr. J on Larry Bird. He made him take an off-balance shot. There's the ball out of bounds off Cornbread Maxwell. Philadelphia's basketball.
Cheeks the point guard. All three Philadelphia guards have seen the same amount of time. Tony, Hollins, and Cheeks. Dawkins gets inside. Good play, but Hollins is there for the rebound. Dawkins looking for the foul. Didn't get it. Hollins with the hoop. 8-4, Philadelphia leading. Sixers can wrap up this best-of-7 series with a victory this evening and face the winner of Kansas City and Houston. Tiny misses outside, and the Celtics ice cold. Bird trying for the steal. Hollins, the Doc goes to the hoop with a vengeance, and Dr. J gives the Sixers a 6-point lead. Irving has averaged 19.8. Though he's averaged 20 points a game in the playoffs, 10 straight points run off by Philly. Boston crowd a little anxious, Kevin.
Right now, Robert Parrish looks a little confused on the floor. And he's not really getting into the flow on either end, both offense and defense.
He hasn't shot well at all the last 2 games, and Doc draws the foul as only he can. Flying to the hoop with the arms going out to the right. Foul on Parrish.
Here's Dr. J taking the ball down the floor. Parrish should have got back and faced Doc. Instead, he trailed him with his back to him. He ends up fouling him. Parrish right now, this is really Parrish's first real big series in a playoff situation in the NBA. And right now, he does look a little confused after getting off so well in the first 2 games. The last 2 games, they played him extremely well. And tonight, he really doesn't look like he's really calm on the floor. He looks a little confused at this stage.
Well, what a great year, an all-star year for Robert Parrish, who became a defensive performer with block shots, tough rebounds, as well as an offensive star. 12-4 the score, an 8-point lead. Philadelphia, the last 3 games have opened up in impressive fashion against Boston. The Celtics were in a hole the last 2. They don't want to get into a hole again. And a good feed from Ford to Parrish. That's the kind of basketball they have to play.
That could help Robert Parrish, too. It's nice to get off and get a basket.
Philadelphia leading. 6.5 minutes remaining, first quarter. Dick Stockton and Kevin Lowry at Boston Garden, game 5. Cheeks to Doc. Blocked by Bird. And a jump ball called by Earl Strom under the basket.
There's a good defensive play by Larry Bird. They both came together with the ball. That's a good call, and it's a jump ball between Bird and Doc. I think Dr. J will get the tap on Larry Bird.
Gives up 3 inches, but the Doc can fly. As Bird got the tap on Doc. That's why you're sitting here.
I was really close on that play. He beat him by 6 inches.
Tiny Archibald. With Ford cutting under the hoop. Bird setting a screen for Tiny. Well, Irving's doing a job on Bird. Parrish with Dawkins defending. Philadelphia is still doing the job defensively with that front line. Sixers are up by 6. And we have a whistle and a foul on Boston, and it's on Tiny Archibald, his first, the team third.
Andrew Toney, a great rookie for Philadelphia. He's like a scoring machine. He'll be in the game shortly, and when he comes in, he'll be shooting the basketball.
Ice water in his veins for the rookie from Southwest Louisiana. Hollins has a screen from Dr. J. He scored a couple of hoops early, and Bird comes out, and a backcourt foul will be called against the 76ers. Lionel Hollins is second.
Lionel Hollins will commit the backcourt foul. After you miss a shot, players at times will get overly aggressive trying to make the steal. He fouls Bird in the backcourt. In professional basketball, that's two shots when you foul an opposing player in the backcourt.
Lionel Hollins, who has played both point guard and off guard in this series because of Tony's presence, as Bird hits the first free throw. That's the first team foul against Philadelphia. Larry Bird averaging more than 26.5 points per game in this series, but he has been pretty well shackled the last 2 games by Philadelphia. His best games were the first 2. So a 4-point Philadelphia lead. Cheeks is open for the moment. His scoring has dropped dramatically from the season to these playoffs. Tiny trying to penetrate. Does. It goes. Talk about Tiny. He plays nearly 41, 42 minutes a game. He's an Iron Man along with Bird in that lineup.
That's a lot of minutes for a guard, particularly for a lead guard who's handling the ball all the time.
So the Sixers lead is cut to 2 points. The 15 to go in the first quarter. Low to Dawkins. Is that too far out for him?
It's too long for Dawkins.
Bird leading Maxwell. And Maxwell ties the game. So the Celtics put on a spurt of their own and tie the game. Cornbread Maxwell averaging over 14 a game. Wakes up the crowd. Deflected out of bounds. Celtics are getting their hands on the ball, disrupting Philadelphia's pattern.
The Celtics are sharper defensively, and I think it's going to tell them before the game's over. Right now, they're relaxed. They finally relaxed in the game. It took them almost 8 minutes to relax. They finally got themselves relaxed, and I think they're in the ball game right now.
Still Philadelphia ball. And we'll have a whistle. And we have a foul on Boston away from the ball.
Delay of game warning, white.
Delay of the game against the Celtics. Explain.
It's against Cornbread Maxwell. He delayed the game by touching the ball when Doc had it in his hands out of bounds.
Pass goes out to Hollins.
Go get it, go get it.
Hollins pulls up. Bird with a rebound and a loose ball foul called against Caldwell Jones going over the top. Larry Bird, who's been rebounding tremendously if his scoring has fallen off the last 2 games.
He does a great job not only rebounding the ball, but he boxes out Caldwell Jones and keeps him off the boards.
Maxwell goes in. He's been tough inside. And Maxwell has 2 buckets and has been the force for Boston on offense early here. Celtics by 2. Less than 4.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Dr. J was open, had to move out to the corner. Maxwell on him. And it's thrown away off the hands of Hollins, but Dr. J looked confused on that play.
I think we'll see Bobby Jones. In fact, here comes Bobby Jones to come in for Dr. J. At this stage, I think it's a pretty good substitution, except they're taking out Caldwell Jones instead of Dr. J.
So Bobby Jones comes into the game. He made that big interception to snuff out that last Boston opportunity on Sunday. Celtics have run off 8 in a row, by the way, after the Sixers had scored 10 straight. Cheeks is on Tiny. Hollins on Ford. Bird. And a foul away from the ball. It's on Darryl Dawkins, who has been in foul trouble throughout the series, although not quite as much on Sunday. Ultimately, he was out.
They're just fighting for position, and when Dawkins is fighting with someone for position, invariably the officials will call the foul on Dawkins. He does hold Al Parrish a little bit, and they will always call, it seems, the foul on Dawkins at that play.
Under 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Parrish is picking and setting a screen. Ford in the corner, in and out. Dawkins and Jones fought for the ball. Boston came up with it, and now we'll have a foul the other way. Cheeks commits the foul his first. Boston inbounds, and the 4th team foul against the Sixers. One more, they're over the limit. Maxwell goes to the hoop. Dawkins comes out with it. Jones is on Cheeks' left. Hollins on the right. Dawkins inside, and we'll have a foul. Ford and Parrish were inside, and the foul will be the 4th team foul on Boston. It's on Parrish's second, as Andrew Toney, leading scorer for Philadelphia in this series, averaging over 24 a game. The scoring sensation comes in, replacing Hollins. Toney saves it nicely at midcourt. 3:25. Maxwell steals it. Bad pass. 4 on 2. Tiny misses. Bird loses it. And Ford is there, and we have a whistle. They're going to call the foul on Boston, and they're in the penalty.
Fouls on the offensive rebound on Boston. Again, if I was Boston, I'd be extremely happy. Ford misses the easy shot, but there's a foul on Boston, but I'd be extremely happy if I was Boston at this stage. They are getting good shots almost every single time down the floor. They will make these shots. If they don't, they can't win. But the shots they're getting, you can't work for better shots. They're getting very good shots every time down the floor.
Bobby Jones shooting. They're in the penalty. Backcourt foul. So he has 3 to make 2. Still has 2 more. Caldwell's foul, his second. So Parrish and Maxwell have 2 fouls here in this first quarter. Bobby Jones normally has been an outstanding shooter from the field, but he's having his problems in the playoffs, under 50%. Normally he's up about 54.
Bobby Jones only takes good shots. He doesn't force too many shots.
He had 18 points, by the way, on offense. Everyone talks about his great defense on Sunday. So we have 3:10 remaining in the first quarter. We're tied at 14. Celtics have to win 3 in a row to survive to the NBA Finals. Looking for Parrish, and Dawkins overplays it. Parrish gets it anyway and gets the bucket. That'll help him. Celtics by 2. They had the early lead. Missed a lot of shots in Philadelphia. Had an 8-point bulge. And the Celtics came back. Tony, number 22. Physical player and the best shooting guard on the team. Andrew Toney gets 2 more.
That's where Tony's the toughest. He can get inside the 15-foot area, and that's when he gets in there. He's so strong physically that Boston's guards haven't been able to play him in deep.
It was a good play by Dawkins, knocking the ball away, and Caldwell Jones will come back in. Here is Darryl Dawkins knocking the ball away from Parrish. So with 2:29 remaining, we have a deadlock in Boston Garden here in the first quarter. These teams so evenly matched coming in this series, 62-20, tied for first. Philadelphia beat Indiana in the mini-series, then a tough struggle over Milwaukee in 7 games, while Boston had a breeze over Chicago in 4 straight. And the Celtics, of course, have to do what only 3 other clubs have done as you look at Larry Bird, who could be ready to explode in this game.
He's ready tonight. He's going to have a big game, I feel.
Tony is on Tiny Archibald, which could be an interesting matchup as it develops. Maxwell and Bobby Jones going at it. Parrish right of the key, going up into short. Bird with the rebound. What position he's getting, and now they say no basket. No basket, a push before the shot, or before the rebound by Bird.
Here's Bird grabbing the rebound. Dr. J pushes it from behind while his feet are on the ground. Good call by Hugh Evans. But he gets 2 foul shots because both teams are right now in the penalty. Bird is going to the basket on both ends, keeping the ball alive. He's rebounding off the defensive board. He's going to have a big game tonight.
And, of course, he played all the way in games 1 and 4. He has been an Iron Man and is probably going to play most of the way unless Boston can open up a big lead. So the Celtics are up by 2. 2:15 remaining in the first quarter. And thus far, a low-scoring affair. You watch the clock as we get down. Good feed to Hollins inside. He gets the unmolested reverse layup and another tie. 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Ford. And Tony is watching him closely. He can hit from outside. Bird's pass is picked off by Andrew Toney. We have a 4-on-3 for Philadelphia. Tony likes to go 1-on-1. And we'll have a whistle and a foul. It's on Philadelphia the other way. Billy Cunningham looks with disdain as Tony commits the foul.
That's one area where Andrew Toney makes a lot of mistakes when he's handling the ball in the middle of the break. He takes a little too far, and the reason he does that, he's a scorer. He's not looking too often to pass it off. He wants to score.
Does he remind you at all of John Williamson, who played for you?
An awful lot like John Williamson, who was a great player in the league.
Good offensive player, and he used his bulk pretty well for a guard. Bird beats him to the baseline. Parrish looked a little unsure of himself getting the pass back, but he hit the short jumper, something he hasn't been able to do. Boston is up once more. 1:25 to go, first quarter. Cunningham wants them to set up the play. Look at him. Bobby Jones. Tony, Caldwell Jones, Irving, and Hollins with the ball. 6 seconds on the shot clock, and Dr. J in the lane pulls up with it. So Irving now with 6 points, winding down to a minute to go. We have had several ties in this first quarter. Irving being overplayed by Bird. Or the other way as the bank shot misses. We have had 6 ties. Caldwell Jones goes up and misses. Maxwell saves it nicely to Parrish. 44 seconds and a football lead pass to Larry Bird.
That was a great pass by Robert Parrish for a 7-footer to look up. He quickly seen Larry Bird, and he made a great pass and hit Bird for an easy 2 points.
So Bird, who was 1 for 8 from the field Sunday, already has 8 points in this game with the final 24 seconds of the quarter. 9 on the shot clock, and and the Celtics up by 2. Bird overplays, and a foul called, loose ball on Bobby Jones. The pass was intercepted, and Jones hit him.
It's good defense by Larry Bird. He has his front foot strong. He opens his hand and his left hand. That's a perfect way to overplay a man. Bring your left foot up top. Open your hand so you can knock the ball away. He did a perfect job defensively, got fouled in the backcourt.
All right, Gerald Henderson, who you pointed out at the top of the game, had not played Sunday. The Celtics need him for his instant offense. Number 43 has come in along with ML Carr, number 30, as Darryl Dawkins gets his position under the basket. And so Bill Fitch in a switch is changing his both guards. And here's Kevin McHale coming in.
Kevin McHale and Gerald Henderson, what we talked at the top of the show, have to get in the game. They're two of their better outside shooters. Henderson at the guard spot, McHale at the forward spot. Don't add offense to the ball club. They're getting good shots, Boston. Now these people can stick it. With them coming in the game, they can hit the outside shot. And I think this is a great substitution right here by Bill Fitch.
McHale played only 11 minutes on Sunday, the least amount of playing time in the playoffs, and the Celtics regard him as a clutch performer, especially in the final quarter. Bird has now 10 points in the game, 14 seconds to go in the quarter. Boston with a 4-point lead. Tony taking his time, guarded by ML Carr, and that's been a physical matchup. Tony inside, foul. Celtic foul. And it's on Parrish. That'll be his third personal foul. So while he's come alive a bit offensively, he has 3 fouls, and that's a burden on the Celtics.
Again, the ability for Andrew Toney to get within 8-9 feet of the basket, even closer. Very few players have this ability. He's the scorer. He has such great ability. Here he is, inside all the time. He's strong. You can't stop him in there. He's got some good moves, but his strength, but he gets there. That's a big factor.
Do you believe that the Sixers are at a disadvantage if he hogs the ball too much?
They take him out of the game, which Billy does a great job. If he hogs it too much, they'll get him out and put someone else in the game.
Steele with 3 seconds to go in the quarter. Bobby Jones shot no good, tipped up no good, and that'll do it for the quarter. And Philadelphia almost had themselves a tie. So at the end of the first quarter, it's 24-22 Boston over Philadelphia, and the CBS Sports Special will continue after this word from your local station. This is Dick Stockton with Kevin Lockery in Boston Garden. In the first quarter, we had 7 lead changes and 6 ties, and it's been a streak game. The Celtics scored 10 straight at 1 point, and the Sixers 12 in a row. And a 2-point Boston lead as we start the second quarter. Keep in mind, the Philadelphia 76ers lead 3 games to 1. They need 1 more win to move to the finals.
They're taking out Robert Parrish. He has 3 fouls. It's a time to get him out of the game. You got Roby, Bird, and McHale in a lineup together. Very physical crew this is.
And as you saw, neither club shot well in the first quarter. So Henderson and ML Carr in the backcourt, Bird, McHale, and Rick Roby up front. So Fitch going to his bench early, and the pass is thrown by McHale. Turnover to Philadelphia. Sixers have turned the ball over 7 times. But that's been their style during the course of the year. Cheeks back at guard with Tony, Bobby Jones, Dawkins, and Caldwell Jones. There he is. McHale inside. Darryl Dawkins, the basket, counts, and a foul. Lightning quick move, and he beat Rick Roby underneath.
It's a great play by Philadelphia. Previously, Tony had set a nice pick for Darryl Dawkins. He came across, and Bobby Jones hit him for an easy layup. But Tony made the play with a nice pick.
1-point lead for Philadelphia. Celtics now have 4 reserves on the court. Henderson out to McHale, who's wide open, swinging around. Carr, no one underneath. And a steal by Cheeks. Cheeks trying to gain his footing again, out of bounds. It's still Philadelphia ball. Bo Cheeks, a superb play. Henderson will guard him, and now we'll have a 20-second timeout. Each team is allowed 1 20-second timeout per half. And when we talked about Sunday's game, the Celtics not only had 1 regular timeout, they also had a 20-second timeout remaining in the final seconds.
It's good to save that 20-second timeout, particularly when you're trying to get the ball in bounds at the end of the game. Cheeks hurt himself a little bit. I don't think it's very serious. I think he'll stay in the basketball game. No, they're going to bring in Clint Richardson. So maybe he is hurt. That could hurt that ball club. If Cheeks is a big part of that club, obviously the main lead guard.
So Clint Richardson, the second-year player from Seattle, has not played that much, but perhaps more during the course of the year than a lot of people realize for Philadelphia. He's physical, was a starter for Doug Collins last year, and then when Hollins came in as a starter, he became a reserve. So he has seen action under the pressure.
32.
Sixers have scored 5 in a row, leading by 1. ML Carr is on Tony. Jones loops it in and throws it away off of Dawkins. Tough pass for Dawkins to handle.
With Richardson and Tony in the game together, Boston should pick them up full court and press them all over the court. They're really not that good at ball handlers.
Richardson is guarding Henderson. Caldwell Jones is giving McHale a lot of room outside. So is Dawkins on Roby. And a foul. Caldwell Jones over the top of McHale commits that foul. And that's the second personal on Caldwell.
With Parrish out of the game, Boston's opened up the middle, and they keep slashing big men in the middle and trying to hit him down deep. Caldwell Jones fouled McHale on the block.
Henderson controlling. He has become the point guard right here as Bird no good inside. Crash underneath. And a loose ball foul because Philadelphia had the position. So ML Carr is called for the loose ball foul.
Still, Boston has to hit the easy shots. You have to make them shots. Bird has to hit open jump shots. They have to make their outside shots.
Sixers defensive rebounding has been exemplary thus far. Tony outside. 1-point lead for Philadelphia. We've completed a minute and a half of the second quarter from sold-out Boston Garden. Tony trying to penetrate, does, and it drops for him. Can you stop this guy, and how?
Well, Carr's a bigger man. I would put a bigger man on him. Carr's pretty big, but he gets the ball wherever he wants. 12 feet and scores every time.
McHale, look at that move inside. A basket and a foul. Kevin McHale gets the bucket. And Andrew Toney commits the foul. Look at the move.
Great move by McHale. Gets Caldwell Jones off his feet. Tony come in to help out and get the foul. On the other end with Tony, what I would do against Tony is give him the outside shot. Lay off him. Don't let him drive. Don't let him get in 12 feet.
Like Dr. J, right?
Exactly right. Fall back. If he hits a 20-foot jump shot and beat you, fine. But don't play him nose to nose and let him get in the middle.
Not to say Tony is the same player as Jay, but the thing is he'll hurt you at least by shooting from outside. Another tie at 27 after that three-point play by McHale. It is still Philadelphia ball. So Tony and Hollins have 2 fouls, as does Caldwell Jones. Parrish has 3 personals, and he's on the bench for Boston. Caldwell Jones almost elbowed his own player, Tony. 7 seconds on the shot clock, and Tony firing outside, just as you say. Give him the outside shot, and he missed it. Henderson, Bird, Boston looking for the lead. ML Carr gives the Celtics the lead. So ML Carr, who hasn't been shooting well from outside, at 36%, gives Boston the lead again. 9.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Dr. J will come back in the ball game next break. And Tony just threw the ball down. Luckily for the Sixers, it wasn't picked up. Jones inside Dawkins. Quietly, Dawkins is making his presence felt.
With Parrish out of the game, Dawkins is much bigger than Roby, a little quicker, and they're going in deeper to Dawkins with Parrish out of the game.
Another tie. This time at 29. Bird throws it away. Bobby Jones confused him there.
That was good defense by Bobby Jones. Bird committed himself, left his feet. You should not leave your feet and jump in the air.
It was last touched, however, by a Sixer, so it'll be Boston ball as we have a timeout here in a close game in Game 5 of our Eastern Final. I'll say one thing, the Celtics have been a group of positive thinkers despite the 3-1 deficit, and of course they know if they win at home in this game tonight, they go to Philadelphia for Game 6 on Friday, where they haven't won in the last 11 tries. So they know they've got to win the game at home before they think about breaking that jinx at the Spectrum. We have a tie, 9:06 to go first half. ML Carr, who's posting Tony inside, goes to the hoop and a foul.
That's a good play by Boston. They decided to make Tony work underneath. He posts up down the other end. We'll post him up and take advantage of Carr on this end, and ML Carr's a couple inches bigger than Tony.
And what's maybe significant here, Kevin, with Mo Cheeks in the dressing room with headaches after being hit, Andrew Toney now has 3 personal fouls as Carr goes to the line to shoot, and that's 3 team fouls against Philly in the quarter. So we may might be seeing more of Clint Richardson, who is in the game right now. M.L. Carr missed half the season with a broken bone in his foot. It happened like 7 games into the year. He played forward at guard last year, most of the time at forward. In the backcourt this year. So a 2-point Boston lead under 9 minutes to play first half. Tony finding Bobby Jones at the foul line. Coming in from the baseline is Richardson, and the foul is against Boston. Celtics' 4th team foul of the quarter, and Gerald Henderson commits the foul. That is a 3rd, not the 4th team foul on Boston. Clint Richardson from Seattle. He's 6'3" in his 2nd year. Inbounded. Hollins. So Tony is now on the bench with 3 fouls. Hollins pulls up with a bank shot. Hollins did not score that much against Milwaukee, but he's done a lot more against Boston. Another deadlock, 31, and Hollins has 10 points in the game, leading scorer for Philadelphia. Carr is all alone looking for the ball as McHale fires one off the glass. Here's the dot. Waiting for Dawkins to come up court. Low to Richardson. Reverse layup. Nice play. Philadelphia leading by 2. Bird wide open with Richardson guarding him on a mismatch. Henderson gets the rebound for Boston and White. Celtics are definitely, whenever Archibald is not penetrating, looking to play the half-court game.
Exactly right. They've opened the middle also with Parrish out and gone into people like McHale.
He does that kind of move. He's done it all year. Turnaround jumper, the rookie. A master stroke, another one for Red Auerbach and the Celtic front office. They got Parrish and McHale. We've had 10 deadlocks in the game. We're at 33 right now. 7.5 to play. Dawkins double team, and Bird smartly lets him go in for the dunk. Philly by 2. Henderson is fouled around the foul line, and that'll put Philadelphia, let's see if it's the 3rd or 4th. That's their 4th foul, and the foul's on Richardson, his 1st personal. Bird inbounds. Top 2 defensive teams. The regular year, Philly was 1, Boston 2, and the 2nd and 3rd in the league in block shots. Bird. Roby. He had the ball, and we have a jump ball.
That's good defense by Bobby Jones. Roby had the inside position, got the rebound. Jones blocked the shot going up. Now they'll have a jump ball. Roby's bigger, but Jones can really leap.
Bird is looking for that outside eye, which helped him so much in that Boston triumph. Tip won by the Celtics. Jones is on Henderson. Hollins is on Carr. McHale, plenty of time. M.L. Carr, short. Here comes Philadelphia. They have a 4-on-2. The Doc will do it himself. Goaltending called against M.L. Carr, and give Dr. J the point. He's got 8 now in the ball game, and a 4-point Philadelphia lead now.
Boston has to hit the outside shot. Philadelphia's almost given him the wide-open 18, 20-footer. You have to put that in, or else you just can't get the ball down and deep unless you open it up.
Gerald Henderson in his 2nd year from Virginia Commonwealth has been shooting 38% from the field in this series, but that's what he's in there for. Larry Bird ends up on the floor. No foul called, and McHale on a good pass. Celts come within 2. Bobby Jones drives baseline. Fouls and rolls off, and coming back for the Celtics will be Chris Ford, Tiny Archibald, and Cornbread Maxwell.
One thing Bobby Jones does so well is use his left hand. For a right-handed player, he uses his left hand on drives to the basket more than anybody else. That's a very difficult shot. It looks easy, but that's really a tough shot.
Well, you saw Hannah Mandlikova. We expect her to compete with defending champion Martina Navratilova and Andrea Jaeger, the young sensation, Saturday on CBS for the finals. Larry O'Brien, NBA commissioner, amongst the sellout crowd here at Boston Garden. Bobby Jones will be at the line. Rick Roby's foul was his 2nd. Each side now has 4 team fouls with 6:25 remaining in the first half. So it is probable that we will be in the penalty both ways before this half is over. Kevin, it would have behooved Boston. Of course, they want to win, period. But to win in a breather if they could in this game, expecting a tough one in Philadelphia. What would a close game here mean if they win?
I think a breather would be better for Boston because it would give them some team confidence. They really are not strong team confidence-wise right now, even though they talk like they are. But it doesn't seem that they're strong. I think a good win, big win, would really boost their confidence.
McHale setting a screen on a switch. Jones was on tidy, no foul called. They're letting him play this game. Rick Roby at the foul line. Misses. Richardson going up for a good rebound for the guard. 39-34 or 39-35 Celtics trailing Philadelphia. Hollins, the leading scorer with 10 points for Philly. Bird has 12 for Boston. Irving banks it, misses. Roby. McHale releases down court, but so does Philadelphia on defense. Trailing is Roby. Screening for Tiny. Richardson left his feet on a defensive maneuver, and banking it in is Tiny Archibald, and it's a two-point game again.
Sideline.
Keep in mind, Mo Cheeks in the dressing room with a headache as alley-oop play to Irving. Puts Philadelphia up again by 4. Tiny penetrating, gets 2 baskets in a row, and Archibald has 8 points in the game. He has averaged 19.5 in the series. Good reversal direction, and burns Chris Ford. What about Chris Ford's defense? He's not that speedy a guy, but he's tough.
Well, if Boston was suspect, that's the one area, the guard defense, that they thought they might have a problem with, and it has been magnified in this series.
McHale, good fake on Bobby Jones. Off. Well, that's the second time we have seen that happen. In the 7th game of the Milwaukee-Philadelphia series, he'll have a jump ball, by the way. We saw the ball nestled in between the iron and the glass.
This will be a jump ball. It doesn't happen very often, but there'll be a jump ball between any two people, usually your two biggest people, which will be Caldwell Jones and McHale.
Parrish on the bench in case you're looking for him with 3 fouls. Tiny at the top. Setting the play, 4:35 remaining in the first half. Philadelphia by 4, looking to end it tonight. Turnaround, short shot missed by McHale. Out to the dot, and he loses the ball out of bounds. Chris Ford gave the Celtics what they needed in the second half Sunday. A little bit too little too late as far as that game was concerned. Richardson. Tiny picked up by Caldwell Jones. Trapping defense by Philadelphia inside, and Archibald draws the foul.
That's good defense by Caldwell Jones to help out, but Tiny took it all the way because of his great individual ability to the basket. When Tiny drives, he always looks for the foul, and he got fouled. Again, we can't repeat too much. Boston is getting the good shots. Bill Fitch has got to be killing himself over there. Layups, easy jump shots. 15-footers aren't going in the basket. There's not much you can do about that.
They would have a 10-point lead right now if they were shooting anywhere near what they have done for the playoffs.
Exactly right. And if Tiny hadn't hit 6 straight points here, Philadelphia could have a nice lead. Richardson committed the foul, his second. And the penalty, of course. Tiny, superb free throw shooter, brings Boston to within 2. Season series wound up deadlocked at 3-3. Keep in mind, last year the Sixers knocked out Boston in 5. Irving over Maxwell, and the basket counts in a foul. 3 fouls now for Maxwell, and Dr. J with 12 points in the game. As we mentioned earlier, has been 10 points below his season's average as Larry Bird comes back in because he's put the emphasis on the D. It's so tough to play both ends of the court for 40 minutes as hard as Doc is playing it. He's overplaying Larry Bird on a defensive end. It definitely takes away from some of his offense. Robert Parrish, who is struggling in this series, on the bench with 3 fouls, has scored 6 points. I think it's been a difference in the series so far. Parrish has had a great year, but in the last 3 ball games has not really been much of a factor for Boston. Bill Fitch said not getting work from your center is like not having the work from your pitcher. It's the key man on the team. Roby. Caldwell Jones will give him the shot, and Roby reluctantly takes it. Ford knocks
it to no one in particular. Philly comes out with it with 3:39 to play. Irving is on the right side. Clint Richardson instead goes to Hollins, pulls up at the baseline. And a loose ball foul, and Caldwell Jones has been over the top all night, and that's his third.
That was a good acting job by Larry Bird. I'm not too sure he got pushed as much as he made out he got pushed. Maybe got touched a little bit, but it was a good acting job. Caldwell Jones goes to the offensive boards every time. Here's the play here. We'll see how much that he got pushed. Larry Bird will try to box out Caldwell Jones on a play, which he should do, and does a good job boxing out. I guess I really don't think he got hardly pushed, but that's a tough call. It's a good acting job. Give him credit, Larry Bird.
All right. So on the penalty, they're shooting Bird at the other end, and Steve Mix and Darryl Dawkins have come in for Philadelphia, so they might have their physical team in there right now.
This is the first time for Mix in the ball game, and anytime he steps on the floor, he's a tough type player. He's really great to have on your club, and it's tough to play against him, but he's physical.
He hasn't scored against Boston in this series, but normally he's a dead-eye shooter from outside. So we are seeing a lot of the bench so far in the first half. 3:33 remaining in the first half, and a 4-point Philadelphia advantage. 3:33 remaining in the first half. Both sides are in the penalty foul-wise, and a 4-point Philadelphia lead. The Celtics are playing much crisper basketball than they have the past two games, but as Kevin has pointed out several times, the shots are not going in, and as a result, Celtics are in more of a struggle than they should be.
Exactly right, Dick. You can talk about you run your offense well and you should score points, but when you're 3-1 down in the series, you don't have time to worry about whether they're going to go in. You've got to put the ball in the basket because we do keep scoring.
14 points for Larry Bird. So Dawkins back in there, as we pointed out, with Steve Mix, 33-year-old veteran from Toledo. Ford is on Hollins. Irving goes low to Dawkins. Lost the ball inside. Bird to Tiny. Here's Larry. Go to the hoop is Bird. And Mix gets the rebound. Richardson playing a strong game, feeding Dr. J, and Clint Richardson is making up for the absence of Mo Cheeks in superb fashion as Irving gives 5 to Clint. 5-point Philadelphia lead, and a very quiet Boston Garden. They gave their Celtics a 2-minute standing ovation before they were introduced. Bird, after Irving overplays, misses the shot. Larry gets his own rebound, finds Roby, short popper. They miss. The Celtics can't get the ball in the basket. Finally, Bird has to do it, but it's getting too tough to get him to score.
That's a great effort by Larry Bird. Second and third shots, all on sheer hustle. After playing so many minutes in this series, he's just a terrific basketball player.
There's the clock to the end of the first half. 3-point lead. Richardson. McHale is guarding Irving. Gives up the dribble to Dawkins. It goes. Darryl Dawkins kind of rolled that up with a back facing the basket. So Philadelphia comes back and gets the points. 5-point lead. Tiny and a stop and go. Spins it up. Wild shot. And now we have some bumping and banging underneath the basket. Philadelphia coming out under 2 minutes to go in the half. And Boston is ragged right now. They're disjointed and disorganized as they trail by 7, and the biggest lead of the game for Philadelphia. Clock remaining in the first half. And a 20-second timeout called by Fitch with 1:35 to go in the half.
That's good use of the 22nd by Bill Fitch. It's their biggest lead for Philadelphia right now, 7 points. And Boston right now is struggling a little bit because they're not hitting the outside shot. When you're not hitting this shot, you'll start to turn down shots and try to force it in the middle.
You know, that's so true, but I've got to give a lot of credit at the same time to Philadelphia, because here they are playing in a game on a road court, trying to keep it going, and they're holding their own at least, and they have the lead. Tomorrow on CBS starts with Checking In, when Florence falls for a salesman who may be selling her short. Then it's great new comedy on Park Place. And Magnum's charms and good looks aren't enough when a beautiful girl leads him to a kung fu killer on Magnum P.I. It's all tomorrow night on CBS. 1:35 remaining. Bird going to the basket. Layup goes for him. Bird has 18 points. Mix in the backcourt. Will bring it up himself if he does bring it up. Now Hollins across the line. 10 seconds, directing traffic. 8 seconds on the clock. 5 seconds, and Philly not ready to shoot. Mix may have to put it up with 2 seconds, and he does. It's deflected by McHale. Dawkins goes up, and a foul. Sixers just got that shot up.
There was some question whether they did get the shot off before the 22nd clock went off, but I think they did. The ball was tapped off the backboard. Second shot by Dawkins to get 2 foul shots.
So Bird commits the first foul. Dawkins has 3 to make 2. Dawkins has averaged only 22 minutes in the last 3 games, mainly because of foul trouble. But he had a good first half on Sunday and hit 2 big jump shots in the second half after the Celtics took the lead. Under a minute to play, first half. 7-point lead. Philadelphia trying to do what they did a year ago, eliminate the Celtics in 5 games in the Eastern Final, and a steal. Steve Nicks overplaying. And the Sixers are gaining more confidence now as the first half is winding down. Dr. J hitting outside. And a 9-point lead, the biggest lead of the game. The Celtics better get their act together, otherwise it's an early vacation as Tiny is fouled underneath.
It's good penetration by Tiny, but he's having to take the ball all the way because he also knows when the other people aren't hitting the outside shot.
Dawkins the foul, his second personal, and Archibald is on the line. 3 to make 2. Bobby Jones will come in for the final 26 seconds. Dawkins is going out, so I don't think Billy C wants to take any more chances with Dawkins. He could pick up an offensive foul. Perhaps he doesn't want to have him get 3 in this half.
That's a good substitution. You hold the ball now for 1 shot, get the last shot of the quarter, and make sure that Dawkins doesn't pick it up on the offensive boards, that 3rd foul.
7-point lead, 20 seconds. Irving walks it up.
When I tell you, Bobby, just hold it.
They have 11 seconds. There's a 2-second disparity between the shot clock and the game clock, and with 5 seconds on the shot clock, Jones misses. Clint Richardson goes up, the basket good, and a foul, and that hurts the Celtics badly. They are standing around. Clint Richardson has come in a hero's role for the injured Mo Cheeks and has a chance for a 3-point play and could give Philly a 10-point bowl.
He's done a terrific job, and Billy Cunningham did a great job in playing Clint Richardson during the season just for this emergency. He told me during the season he was using 4 guards just in case he had to go with Richardson in the playoffs. It's really paid off.
What's Bill thinking now?
Bill's really got to think this club's in trouble. They are a great 3rd period team, though, so you have to be careful of them coming out in the 3rd period. But they're suspect that guard defensively, and it's showing up.
Full court pressure, 3 seconds to go. They're going to make him work for the points, and Doc intercepts it with 2 seconds to go. Nicks puts it up. If it goes, it counts. And if that had gone through, the Celtics, who knows what they would have done. But that is the end of the first half, and the crowd is not pleased at all with the result as they are booing the 10-point lead for the Philadelphia 76ers at halftime here at Boston Garden.
Individual plays, but as we said before, they do keep scoring this game, and you have to put the ball in the basket.
49 points for the Celtics. You see the banners atop Boston Garden. They proudly display the 13 World Championships and many of the numbers that have been retired. Great players. And of course, someday you're going to see number 33 up there, I'm sure. There's such a thing, they say, as Celtic pride. But I'll tell you one thing, there's a Philadelphia 76er pride as well, and we can't forget about that.
These have been 2 great franchises down through the years, but it is quite impressive to come into the Boston Garden and see them flags.
So you see the shooting statistics right at the top, and you look at the rebounds, which show a heavy advantage for Philadelphia on defense, and that's where Boston has done better than Philadelphia in this series.
Well, exactly, because Boston is missing their shots, enables Philadelphia to get more defensive rebounds.
Parrish has no rebounds in the game, 3 for 6, plus 3 personal fouls. That man is 7 for 10 and scoring 17 points. Dawkins has 13, Hollins has 12. Bird 18, Archibald 12 as we start the 3rd quarter. Dick Stockton, Kevin Lockery, game 5. Parrish loses the ball. Not a good start for Boston. They wanted to go to him quickly. Hollins and Clint Richardson starting out in the backcourt. Irving, Bobby Jones, and Dawkins. Play 12, says the doc.
Come on now. Come on now.
Boston has Ford and Archibald, Maxwell, Bird, and Parrish, the same 5 that started the game. Bobby Jones lost the ball to Bird. Just didn't get a hold of it. Celtics trailing by 10. Maxwell. Ford going to the hoop. And the foul. Would have countered if it had gone. But Boston will have a chance to get on the board.
Ford ignited the club the other night, and he's taking the ball to the basket. He gets fouled. A good move. But again, he tried to bring the club back himself the other day, and he's got a lot of spirit. He's got a lot of poise for a veteran. He plays hard, and he really wants to win. He's one of the better competitors in the NBA.
He has not scored in this game, averaging 8.5 in this series. By the way, Hollins, who committed the foul, now has 3 personals. So Hollins and Tony have 3, and Mo Cheeks has not been back since he suffered headaches after a blow and was in the bench. Clint Richardson. Bobby Jones getting the call. Bird is guarding him. Bobby Jones throws up one of a wild shot. Kevin says doesn't take a bad one, but he missed everything on that. Ford, good move against Lionel Hollins. Spun around and went baseline. 7 points. The Philadelphia lead.
43. Take it up.
Pressure in the backcourt, and they may pressure Clint Richardson more. Hollins and Ford bumping it outside, and they'll call it on Chris Ford. First foul on Ford, and Hollins will inbound.
That's the way I like to see Boston play, particularly when Richardson and Hollins in the game. Cheeks has not even come back on the floor, so he looks like he won't play anymore tonight.
Bobby Jones made no mistake driving the baseline. And that's the first point for Philadelphia in this third quarter. They're up by 9. Tiny, watched by Richardson. Bird to Parrish. Dawkins loses the ball, and they're going to call Darrell for his 3rd foul, a loose ball foul on Dawkins over Maxwell.
Here's Dawkins will get the foul. Good shot by Parrish, not a bad shot. Maxwell works hard to get open. Won't stretch out. There was a good call. Foul by Dawkins, knocked him to the ground.
He stays in the game with 3 fouls. Parrish is waiting outside. They may want to go to the hoop more against Darrell. And there's Maxwell, who's fouled. Bobby Jones and Irving came in, and the foul is on Bobby.
That was a defensive mix-up between Bobby Jones and Dr. J. Well, Bobby Jones and Dr. J went for the wrong player and left Maxwell under the basket. Never leave the player under the basket. You'd rather have 2 guys guarding him and nobody guarding the guy outside. But when he's under the basket, it's very easy to score, at least to get fouled.
Maxwell, look at that statistical difference. 78% from the line during the regular season. 34 for 35 in the playoffs. His foul shooting has improved dramatically at the right time. Sixers have 3 team fouls. Celtics only 1. 7-point lead. Biggest lead was 10 for Philadelphia. Hollins can't get inside against Tiny. Maxwell is on Irving. Bird is on Jones. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bobby Jones, short jumper. Fine 2-way performer from North Carolina, Bobby Jones. Gives the Sixers a 9-point lead. Jones now 8 points in the ball game. Tiny Archibald with 14. Tiny, and they call a foul inside Chris Ford. Number 2 on Chris, and we'll take a break.
Here's the foul by Chris Ford. Tiny could have had a foul down the other end. It looked like he might have lost the ball, Hollins, but Ostrom thought he seen the foul.
So you'll see the finals Saturday on CBS, the Tournament of Champions. Maurice Cheeks has a headache. He was hit earlier in the game, retired to the dressing room, and will not get back in the ball game, which puts a lot more pressure on Clint Richardson, who has been more than equal to the task. Philadelphia leading by 7 points as they go to Dawkins with 3 fouls now. Keep in mind, Dawkins with 3. Parrish also with 3. Irving short. Maxwell, the rebound. Boston needs a rally here. They've done well, as Kevin said, in the third quarter in this series. pull this one out.
Post up on you, Darryl. Darryl, get around.
Ford, watched by Hollins. Parrish. Shot deflected by Dawkins. Picked off by Hollins. Irving finds Bobby Jones. And on the loose ball, Ford the other way. Dawkins back on defense. Parrish. Tiny. Maxwell. The Celtics are not handling the ball inside. They get the foul. But Parrish and Maxwell have had trouble getting the pass inside and holding on to it.
That's the hesitancy of taking the shot. Parrish actually had a jump shot, which he takes all the time from the foul line. He turns down the shot here. It's Tiny. Tiny's forcing it inside again because he knows no one hitting the jump shot. And they're stumbling, fumble a little bit. Parrish normally during the regular season would have taken the jump shot.
But Darryl Dawkins, Kevin, has picked up his 4th foul, and he's going to sit down, and Caldwell Jones will come back. So quickly, with 8:32 remaining in the third, Philadelphia has 14 fouls, the Celtics 2, as Caldwell Jones returns.
The problem could come about if Caldwell Jones picks up another foul. He also has 3. We know that Dawkins seems to be getting in foul trouble every game, so that could be expected. But if Caldwell gets in foul trouble, Philadelphia could have a problem.
Philadelphia had the edge in rebounding in the first half, and a well-balanced rebounding at that, and Caldwell Jones led them with 5 boards. Bird, the leading rebounder for the Celtics. Maxwell hits the 2 free throws. 5-point lead for Philadelphia. So the front court for Philly now is Caldwell Jones, Bobby Jones, and Irving. Caldwell becomes the center. Doc goes to the hoop. Goaltending call. Parrish interfered and credit the basket to Julius Irving, who now has 19.
Here's Parrish waiting on his shot. Doc goes up. When Doc jumps that high, you can't help but goaltend it when you block his shot. That was a good call.
Once again, 7-point lead. Philadelphia. Caldwell Jones and Parrish elbowing each other. Clint Richardson helping on Parrish. Tiny lays it up, and it doesn't go, but Maxwell is there. And what a fine rebounder he is inside. Celtics trailing as they have had most of this game. Biggest lead was 10. Bobby Jones inside. Parrish showing ferocity there on the outlet pass. Maxwell, a bird, and maybe this will spark the Boston Celtics.
You can't run a fast break any better than that. Parrish got the ball off the basket, got it out quickly, and great passes between Bird and Maxwell.
And Andrew Toney will be coming in shortly. The instant offense player for Philadelphia. Bobby Jones is fouled to inside, and Ford is screaming at Hugh Evans.
That's wrong. That's
They have
wrong.
a right, Boston, in this play to yell a little bit because the outside man called the foul. Hugh Evans was underneath the basket. You cannot see the play from where Earlstrom called that play. And he's now hit Billy C with a technical. Oh, he's just telling them both to sit down. That's a good move by Earlstrom. I'd rather see him tell the coaches to sit down than give them technical.
I can understand how you feel.
Also, it costs a lot of money, technicals.
So Bobby Jones will shoot 2. Foul was on Maxwell, his 4th. So we can have several key players in foul trouble before this is over. Maxwell has 4. Dawkins has 4. Bobby Jones, I got to give him so much credit because he was a starter, and now he's doing the job as a role player coming off the bench and not complaining. 5-point lead for Philadelphia. 7:10 remaining third quarter. Maxwell working on Bobby Jones. Short. Parrish fighting for the rebound, but here comes Philly. Hollins. Basket good and a foul. Lionel Hollins.
That was a good call by Earlstrom. Tiny got there late. He gets there late. Hollins is already off his feet. Tiny gets there late. 3-point opportunity. A big turnaround right here for Philadelphia to get a chance to increase their lead to 8 points.
Each side with 4 team fouls. Archibald has 2 personals, and Hollins, who has 14, trying to add another one right now. Lionel Hollins knows what it's like to play in an NBA title team. He did it with Portland against this Philadelphia outfit, and a great opportunity to get a second championship ring. But they've got to win this series first. They're in the driver's seat. Ford hits the shot. That's what he did on Sunday. 6:40 to go, third quarter. Andrew Toney will enter the game. The scoring machine. Rookie. Hollins, baseline. He's hot. Lionel Hollins.
You can see Philadelphia right now. Boston made the run at him. Philadelphia's come right back. They really look confident on the floor right now, Philadelphia.
We saw Gerald Henderson come in the game early, but we have not seen him in a while. And McHale, they're going with their starters as Larry Bird on a turnaround hits the jump shot. Bird with 22 points. He has averaged 26-8 in the series. We're halfway through this third quarter as Julius Erving misses and Bird rebounds. Boston can come within 4 points with a bucket here. And an offensive foul against Archibald. Third foul on Tiny. Here's
Tiny driving to the basket. He takes it a little too far again because of the outside shooting. Should have passed it off and charged with Philadelphia's ball.
The guard comparison becomes very prominent here because if Ford doesn't score, the Celtics are at a disadvantage. They don't have a real sharp defensive guard off the bench. Hollins is playing his heart out in this game, as is Clint Richardson, despite the fact that Mo Cheeks has gone for the game with headaches in the dressing room. Andrew Toney, leading scorer for Philadelphia in this series. Started most of the year at guard before he was replaced by Hollins. They're both in there now. 6-point lead. Erving goes in, it doesn't go. Ford then wins the loose ball. Tiny. Just a brief rest in this game. He's a dynamo. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They go into Parrish. Wide open is Tiny Archibald. A 4-point game. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Celtics down by 4. They've won so many big ones in this building in the past. Hollins looking inside. Bird, and they say Bird pushed off with his left hand as he fouled Bobby Jones.
Here's Bird pushing off with his left hand, overplaying Jones. That was a close call. It's not a penalty. It isn't a penalty. Two shots for Bobby Jones.
Bird's foul is his third.
There's another view of it. There's Bird's left arm on Bobby Jones. I don't think that was a foul. I think it was a good defensive play by Larry Bird on that situation.
Jones misses the free throw. Has one more. Julius Erving on the bench. He has scored 19 points. That's what Jones has scored today. Makes one of 2. 5-point lead, 5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Philadelphia's biggest margin was 10. They had it at the half. Bobby Jones is on Bird. Larry going to work offensively. One-hander baseline. An off-balance play by Larry Bird, who does every aspect of this game as well as he... 3-point lead. This is the closest the Celtics have come in a long time. Lionel Hollins is no good. Rebound Parrish, and a loose ball foul against Caldwell Jones, I think. And now Philadelphia is in the penalty.
On the rebound, loose ball foul against Bobby Jones is the call. Right now, I think Boston's going to make their run at Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a strange lineup in the game because of foul trouble and an injury to Cheeks. I really look for Boston to make the run now. They're down 3 points. If they are going to get ahead of Philadelphia, this is the lineup they'll have to do it against.
So Bobby Jones committed the foul, his third, and Maxwell hits the first free throw. And while Larry Bird has scored 24 points as Darryl Dawkins is on the bench with 4 fouls, he really hasn't had a spurt or an explosion in a segment of time.
Well, you can't play the game with foul trouble every night. If you have 4 fouls, you're always going to be playing tentatively.
A 1-point game, 73-72. The Boston Celtics need this game. They need Friday's game, and they have to force a 7th game Sunday. But they've got to get by this one first, and a foul called against Boston. Both sides in the penalty, and they'll be shooting for Philadelphia.
There's a play. Tony leans into Tiny. They call the foul on Tiny. I think they called it before, a little bit before that play. Earl Strom has made some key calls here in this game that seem to benefit actually to Philadelphia at this stage.
Tiny has 4 personal fouls. Both sides in the penalty as Tony hits.
It's the same play. You'll see Tony jump into Tiny. Offensive foul on Andrew Toney, but Philly's going to get 2 points out.
75-72, 4:20 to play, third quarter. Boston is making a run, but it's a slow, steady run in Philadelphia in this third quarter. Parrish, who has not been a factor. Foul on Philadelphia.
There's Parrish going to the middle. That could have been a hook on Parrish. He takes it strong. But right there, Parrish wanted the basketball. That's 4 fouls on Caldwell Jones. They're going to have to take him out of the game. They bring the doctor in for Bobby Jones, excuse me.
Caldwell Jones, who played 43 minutes as Hollins, goes to the bench with Clint Richardson coming back. Is not scored in this game for Philadelphia. Parrish the free throw. Julius Erving. Never has won a world championship since he joined the NBA. He won for Kevin Lockery with the Nets.
I think he won 2.
He won 2. Don't want to cheat you or him. Andrew Toney jump shot. He was wide open. You can't leave him open for the short jumper. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. Once again, a 3-point lead. Philadelphia hanging on to that lead. They can put it together. They don't have to worry about a game 6. Tiny runs Toney into a pick, and Bird on the layup. Tiny Archibald made that play by running Andrew Toney into a screen.
Great pass by Tony to Larry Bird. On the other hand, Tony thinks he can score every time down the floor against Tiny.
He didn't that time. Bird has 26 points. Philadelphia can lose their lead. Boston looking for it, and they've got it. Press forward. And Billy Cunningham wants a timeout. And listen to the crowd. They love it. These are the players in foul trouble, and it might hurt the Sixers more than the Celtics unless Tiny picks up a couple in a hurry.
Exactly right. You have your 2 centers in foul trouble, and it's still in the third period with 3 minutes to go. Could be trouble for Philadelphia.
Celtics by 1, 3:10 remaining in the third quarter. Steve Mix in the game. They've got Bulk. He's the biggest player physically in the game right now. Andrew Toney shot no good. Bird the rebound. He's taking matters into his own hands, Kevin.
Great player, Larry Bird. He wants to go back and play in Philadelphia on Friday night.
He wants a repeat of game number 2 when he was extraordinary in every phase. Mix watching McHale, and Bird misses the jumper. Ford tips it up, and Caldwell Jones comes down with the ball. 2.5 to play in the third. Clint Richardson, who has been super coming off the bench with Cheeks out of action the rest of the game with a headache. A 1-point Boston lead, and now Philadelphia trying to get the lead. Can't. Parrish finds Tiny. Archibald to Ford, wide open, has a lot of time.
Most times when you hesitate like Ford did, you'll miss the shot. He took his time, measured the shot, put it in the basket. Their biggest lead of 3 points right now for Boston.
Under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Steve Mix, no good. Richardson loses the ball, and there's a foul in the backcourt. Clint Richardson fouls Tiny in the backcourt. It'll be 2 shots.
That was a great play by Tiny. I think he was about to lose the ball. As soon as he felt the contact, he falls down. He's not fouled that much. Actually, Richardson's trying to get away, but experience. Tiny fell down and got 2 fouls for getting fouled in the backcourt.
And the excitement of the game has picked up as the Celtics have come back because of the sellout here as Philadelphia trying to wrap it up. Bill Fitch said, we'll win. Our challenge is to go back to Philly and win 3 in a row. And Tiny Archibald has 3 shots to make 2.
Right now, Bill Cunningham's put Hollins back in the game. Hollins had a great basketball game so far. They've taken out the rookie, Tony, who's missed some outside shots. I think Boston is starting to give Tony the long jump, and that's the way to play.
The Celtics have their biggest lead in the game right now, 5 points. And how dramatically this has changed as Bird and Bobby Jones are watching each other. Bird, 26 points. Bird tries for the steal, doesn't get it. Bobby Jones comes back with a foul. Bobby Jones went up, didn't have control, and got fouled by Ford, his third.
Ford might got hurt a little bit on the play, but he was doing the right thing. There was a breakdown on defense. Ford came from the weak side to help out. He did foul Bobby Jones, but he stopped the three-point play. Don't let him make the basket. Let him make the 2 foul shots at the most.
Bobby Jones has another one. Scored 18 points on Sunday, Larry Bird. What great stories within the story we have with Jones on Bird, Irving on Bird, and some of those superb matchups inside.
You can see what this game means to Boston. Every play now, the bench of Boston, all the players are involved in the game. They're jumping up in every play. They all want to play Friday night. They're excited about it.
And they'll cross that bridge when they come to it. They're not thinking of the Spectrum right now. We have had 13 lead changes and 10 ties. And we have a minute and a half to go in this third quarter. The Celtics by 3. Parrish going to the hoop. Fakes Caldwell Jones and is short. Hollins. Baseline jumper. And it drops. So Philadelphia comes back. And Hollins, who's been a spark plug, 19 points. He and Doc have 19. Sparking the team. That's the time remaining in the third quarter. Robert Parrish still is not a factor in the game, but Philly's defense up front is, as you saw right there. Irving. Under a minute to go, third quarter. Boston by 1. Their biggest lead was 5. And they have now 11 seconds on the 24-second shot. Richardson, Jones driving baseline, challenging Parrish, and a foul called underneath. It's on Parrish, his 4th play, and that's a play they've worked a lot.
As Parrish come to help out to block Bobby Jones' shot, he gets him on the arm, but what was so good about the play is Philadelphia moved the ball around. Everybody handled the ball down the floor. They passed up a couple easy shots, got it to Bobby to drive to the basket.
Clint Richardson.
2 for 1.
He's done an excellent job. Again, as I said before, Billy C. used him during the season just for this purpose. Cheeks gets sick tonight, not able to play, gets hurt, injured. Richardson comes off the bench. He's had some experience and done a terrific job so far.
So the Sixers have taken the lead in our 14th lead change in the ball game with less than a half a minute to go in the third quarter. Parrish, by the way, is now a member of the 4-foul club with Maxwell and Archibald. Ford going back outside to shoot, looking for his own rebound, has it, and throws the ball away to Hollins with 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Watch Irving. And the Sixers have let some of the air out of the Boston balloon here in the final seconds of this third quarter. And Kevin McHale gets the point, and that'll do it for the third quarter. And I think you're going to see a lot of Kevin as we get down to the end of the ball game. Score after 3 quarters. Philadelphia 85, Boston 84, and the CBS Sports Special will continue after this word from your local station.
Thursday.
Fourth quarter here at Boston Garden, where the Celtics know they've got to win to survive. The 76ers lead Boston 85-84. Dick Stockton with Kevin Lockery. A 10-point lead for Philadelphia at the halftime. Put a lot of pressure on Bill Fitch, who has his bench really off the bench. And a lot of the players who are not playing are cheering along because they want to make the trip to the Spectrum on Friday. The foul shooting has been terrific. When we go to the line, I'll tell you how terrific it's been as Hollins starts it out. Caldwell Jones, Clint Richardson, one of the unheralded players performing so well in this game. Foul. It's on Boston. Away from the ball. Rick Roby's 3rd foul. So one team foul chalked up for the team in white.
Roby and Dawkins are just pushing for the whole 24 seconds that time down the floor.
Darryl Dawkins, who has 4 personal fouls, starts with Irving, Caldwell Jones, Lionel Hollins, and Clint Richardson. Tiny Archibald in the backcourt with Chris Ford, Larry Bird, McHale, and Roby. Roby is trying to keep Dawkins outside. And Dawkins, turn around, goes. He hit a couple of big ones just like that.
Dawkins got great confidence when playing against Roby. Not as much confidence against Parrish. He hit some big shots like that in the last game to open up a lead for Philadelphia.
Boston trailed by 10, then took a 5-point lead, and will have a Philadelphia foul. It's on Dr. J. Irving, who has 21 points to lead Philadelphia. Hollins with 19, Bird with 26, leading Boston, and Archibald has 18. Tiny, Bird, Irving is so close to Bird. McHale, double team, out to Bird, in the lane, bank shot, no good. Dawkins clears it. 3-point lead for Philadelphia. They'll concentrate on their half-court game in this final quarter. Dawkins, Richardson, 10 seconds on the shot clock, enough time. Hollins leaves it, and a bad pass. Richardson makes a mistake, throws it away to Tiny Archibald, and McHale will get 2 back. The rookie from Minnesota brings the Celtics to within 1 point with a minute and a half gone in this final quarter.
Right now, Dawkins and Roby are going at it pretty good. Earl Strom is doing a terrific thing. Stop the play, tell him about it. That if you get in a fight, you're both going to go. Stop it before it happens. Excellent job by Earl Strom in that play.
Hollins will inbound following that warning. There they are, Rick Roby from Kentucky, who got a call from Kevin Greavy, his former teammate at Kentucky, and said, I was once down 3-1 and came back. You can too. And he was talking about the Bullets' victory. Several years ago, here come the Celtics. And a foul on Philadelphia. Archibald, that's about as hard as I've seen any player hit the deck in this series.
Tiny is tripped on the play by Hollins. That's a very good call by Hugh Evans being off the ball. Tiny takes a lot of falls in the game. He'll take the ball to the basket a lot and get knocked down. He's a very aggressive offensive player who doesn't mind putting his body on the line every time he's out on the floor, whether it's offensively or defensively.
The preceding announcement was furnished by the National Basketball Association. And when you're in a series like this and the Celtics in a spot like this, who do you think they're going to go to? And Philadelphia's been doing the same with their man.
They're the superstars. That's what they're getting paid for, get to win these games.
Larry Bird and Dr. J guarding each other here. At least Irving on Bird when Boston has it. Tiny passes out, wide open. Chris Ford, he doesn't hit it. McHale tried to keep it alive valiantly, but he couldn't. So Philadelphia with 9:50 has the ball in a 1-point lead in game number 5. They lead the series 3-1, and last year eliminated Boston in 5 games. Will there be a repeat? We'll find out. Tony, baseline on Ford. It rolls off, but what a move for Tony on the baseline. Tiny Archibald back. Ford goes McHale. McHale's such a smart, poised player. You'd never know he's a rookie. Doc tries to steal. Goes back to Bird. Larry underneath, finding Ford. Philadelphia winds up with it. Irving, Tony himself. He's got it.
Archibald has 4 fouls. He couldn't get in the way of Andrew Philadelphia, who tried to take advantage of that situation.
Tony has 12 points. It's the least amount he's had in this series. We still have under 9 minutes remaining. Roby, they're giving him the outside shot. Gives it up, and a steal by Hollins. Ford gets it back, however. Philadelphia gambling on the defense. And Tiny looking for the foul, gets no respect from Earl Strom as the Sixers come back, and Irving tries the shot. Bird with Dawkins feeding Tiny. What a pass by Bird. Larry Bird just hit a lightning-quick pass at the right moment to Tiny Archibald.
What's so great about that pass, he took it right off the dribble. Not many guards can do that. Here's a 6'9" guy taking it right off the dribble.
1-point lead for Philadelphia. 8:19 to go. Tony, this is another one. Pushing it up court, Archibald. Ford.
Get around, Darryl.
Can't find Roby. Now he does. Dawkins, 4 fouls. Good defense there. Irving coming out of the pack, 2-on-2. Tony by himself comes and stuffs him through. Andrew Toney with 14 points in the game, and the Celtics will call timeout, leaving them with 3 the rest of the game.
Right now, I'd see the guards of Boston are a little tired. Archibald and Ford have played the whole half, and I think they're a little tired right now.
All right, Kevin, the CBS Sports Special will continue after this word from your local station. A big moment in the game coming up now because Larry Bird is getting a rest. Parrish comes back, and Kevin, the Celtics haven't gotten performance out of their centers in this game.
No, they really haven't. As we said before, the key position on your ball club is your center spot. Boston hasn't got it out of the center. They got most of it from Larry Bird, the man we just seen.
26 for Bird. So 7:48 remaining in the fourth quarter and a 3-point Philadelphia lead. McHale, Parrish, Maxwell, Ford, and Archibald in the game now. Tony and Hollins in the backcourt defending. Tiny penetrating inside. And an offensive foul called against Archibald, and that is his 5th.
That's a key call. Tiny's got 5 fouls. Now Bill Fitch has to make the decision whether to rest him or not. I wouldn't be surprised if he might move Bird in the backcourt against the lineup that Philadelphia has in there now.
So Tiny stays in with 5, and he's guarding Hollins, and Philadelphia may want to take advantage of that situation with a 3-point lead. Bobby Jones finds Dawkins inside, the basket no good, and Robert Parrish has 5 fouls. Parrish has 5 fouls and 8 points. In fact, counting Roby and Parrish, Boston centers have counted for only 8 points in the game.
That's really been the difference, as we said. Henderson's going to come in for Tiny. This is a key part of the game. Boston will have to get Bird back in the game shortly, particularly with Tiny going out.
Gerald Henderson in the game. Saw action in the first half and didn't score. Archibald goes out with 20 points, and you look at Darryl Dawkins, who hangs in there with 4 personal fouls and hits the free throw. Foul shooting, Philadelphia 26 for 28. Boston 26 for 27. That's incredible.
Great shoot.
5-point lead for the Sixers. Their biggest lead was 10. Boston can't afford Philadelphia to take a bigger lead here. And Parrish goes around in a foul call against the Sixers. Foul is on Dawkins, number 5. And Irving comes back in, replacing Dawkins. So Irving will join Caldwell Jones and Bobby Jones up front.
Still not a bad front line. That's the depth of Philadelphia, which has helped them all year and also in the playoffs.
Be sure and stay tuned for the MVP at the conclusion of the game. Parrish hits the jump shot from the baseline.
This is something Boston has to have in the last 6 minutes, some scoring from Robert Parrish.
3-point lead for Philadelphia. Under 7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Philadelphia has done a tremendous job off the bench, outscoring the Celtics reserves 36 to 13.
They called the foul on Gerald Henderson. It was overplaying Tony, trying to deny him the basketball. I think this is the way Henderson will play Tony.
Each side with 3 team fouls. Henderson's second personal. Team fouls could be important. Hollins. Irving outside is short. Parrish just doesn't look assured out there. Doesn't have his confidence. The Celtics can pull this game out. It could be a big plus for them. Chris Ford looking for Parrish. They double team him for the moment. Cross court, McHale. And Kevin McHale hits a jump shot. So McHale and Parrish have hit key jumpers. And it's a 1-point game, and they just want to stay close so Larry Bird can come back rested.
Exactly right. McHale shoots the jumper real quick. That's what makes him tough to play.
Driving in is Andrew Toney, and they'll call the Boston foul. So Toney will shoot, and that's the 4th team foul against Boston. Bird waiting to get back in the game.
Bill Fitch has made a decision in his own mind when he's going to put Larry Bird back in the game. I would say probably at the 5-minute mark, no later than that.
He played all the way in games 1 and 4 of this series.
The type player that Andrew Toney is, he drives to the basket. He's upset with himself because he didn't make a 3-point play.
What a player he has been, a starter most of the year from Southwest Louisiana, was a point guard at college, was the off guard with Philadelphia. McHale, by the way, committed the foul, his first. Under 6 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, and if the Celtics don't overtake the Sixers this season, McHale. Foul inside. And they're in the penalty.
Dr. J does a good job helping out. Great pass by Henderson. Dr. J over the back of McHale, but Henderson made the play by penetration. He's got to pick up the club after Tiny's been on the bench with 5 fouls. So Henderson has a lot on his shoulders right now, but he's a confident player.
Third foul. McHale has another one.
Watch the zone.
Tiny Archibald, who scored 20 points, second to Bird's 26, also waiting to come back. It's going to be all or nothing at all for Boston. As the Sixers lead by 2, correction on the team fouls, it's 4 apiece. 5:40 remaining, fourth quarter. Boston under incredible pressure here to win at home and send the series to a 6th game. Tony, and they call a foul on Henderson, and the crowd off its feet, and Billy Cunningham loves the call. He may be the only one in the house.
Billy C loves the call. Bill Fitch doesn't like it. Tony again going one-on-one. This is the toughest call an official has to make. I think it was the right call because he left his feet a little bit and didn't get there quick enough as Henderson. But again, right now, Tony has decided I can beat their guards. It's been the key to the series.
Tony, you look at the coaches. This is where they earn their pay in these final moments of the game. Cunningham, Fitch, Cunningham, and Fitch. Back and forth. 4-point lead for the Sixers. Less than 5.5 remaining. Maxwell going to the basket. And they call a foul on Bobby Jones. He hurdled himself through a wave of red jerseys right down the middle, Kevin.
Well, Strom's very consistent with his calls. Both coaches have no problem. Here's Bobby Jones, maybe a fraction late, but Strom called it a charge on one end, a block on one end, and he called it right back here, another block. So there's no problem with them calls.
Consistency, right?
That's what makes good officiating. Consistency and good judgment, and both of these officials have it.
So Maxwell will go to the line and shoot. Both teams in the penalty. Bobby Jones is a starter at Denver. He wants to win a championship for Philadelphia and will do it coming off the bench.
The role players that Philadelphia have, it's a tremendous thing. Not many players like Bobby Jones would accept the role. A star player to come off the bench and play 20 minutes. He does it. Hollins does it. Caldwell Jones accepts a low profile. That's what makes him a great team.
Good analysis, Kevin Lockery, as Billy Cunningham looks on. 4 fouls on Bobby Jones. 5:18 to go. A 2-point lead for the Sixers. And you know that Archibald and Bird are heading back very shortly. Hollins with a jumper. Hits a key jump shot by Hollins and a 4-point lead. And now Strom.
22nd
time. So now the Celtics have used up their 22nd timeout. No substitution coming in from Bill Fitch.
Larry Bird's going to have to get back in the basketball game. It's 5 minutes left in the game. You're down 4 points. He's your star. It's time to get him back in the game.
Why isn't he in there right now?
Probably was tired. He's played almost every minute of the series. He was getting a little tired. I think it was a good substitution.
No, but why isn't he coming in right now?
He's coming in.
All right, thank you. All right. Sometimes you have to twist people's arms, Kevin, right?
Well, we were waiting for you to tell us that.
Talking cheap. Our director, Tony Berner, is now cueing Bill Fitch when to send players in.
We got a lot of coaches around here, I tell you that.
Don't we ever. Celtics have 3 timeouts to go. Philadelphia 4, plus their 22nd. Under 5 minutes to go. Fourth quarter. Larry Bird in and out. McHale, though, with the offensive rebound. He misses. Bird, he's got it. Philadelphia by 2, and Bird's got 28.
Second shots, McHale kept it alive. Now Bird's rested. He's ready to roll.
Hollins, the crowd in a fevered pitch right now. A sellout at hollowed Boston Garden as Bobby Jones hits a clutch bucket.
Nothing could quiet a crowd like a jump shot, and Bobby Jones has done it repeatedly in this series. Big shots and jump shots. Really, he usually drives to the basket.
Henderson, the point guard. When do you put Tiny back in? Maxwell comes in and gets 2. When does Tiny get back?
Shortly, but Philadelphia, good timeout by Billy C. Philadelphia needs a timeout. It's really the first time down the floor that Boston's been able to put it together. A couple of good plays. Bird's got his rest. He comes right in and is responsible for 4 points.
Tiny Archibald is still on the bench. That's the situation. That's the score. If the Sixers win, the Celtics go home. Timeouts left. Boston 3. Philadelphia 3 plus a 20. And Tiny Archibald, he'll be in there any time now as Gerald Henderson stays in the game at guard with Chris Ford. 4:10 remaining. 4th quarter. Philadelphia by 2 points. Irving misses and goes out of bounds. Boston can tie it.
That play did not work for Philadelphia. Billy C's a little upset at Dr. J. They were looking for Bobby Jones. Doctor took the outside shot. It was not the shot that Billy C wanted.
Tony is on Henderson. He can give you the points. Under 4 minutes remaining. 4th quarter. Henderson in a crowd, blocked by Bobby Jones. Tony trying to get control. He comes up with 2. So Henderson had his shot blocked by Bobby Jones. That man Jones on defense again.
But the defense was done by Dr. J denying the ball to Larry Bird, who they were trying to get him the ball.
3.5 now remaining. 4th quarter. Henderson looking for someone. Bird hasn't touched the ball. And Chris Ford hits a shot from outside to make it 103-101.
What a defensive job right now they're doing on Larry Bird. Denying the ball, that means don't let him catch it so he can go one-on-one.
Tony loves to score and go up when he's got the ball. Bobby Jones watched by McHale. You knew he'd be in there at the finish. Clutch performer is a rookie. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And a jumper by Hollins as he hit some jumpers. Henderson. Ford waiting for Larry Bird. Where's Tiny Archibald? Here's Bird. And a foul.
Boston's looking for the goaltender on the play and looking for the 3-point opportunity. No goaltending, just two shots. A 2-shot foul. Here's the play. Ford gives it off to Bird. Bird goes up. The block by very close. That's why I'm not an official. That was a very close call. It might have been on the way up. That's a very difficult call for an official. At this stage, usually the officials will decide to let the ball have to go in the basket.
Bobby Jones has 5. Check that. Caldwell Jones has 5 fouls now. And a whole bunch of people have 5 and 4 as M.L. Carr returns to the game, replacing Chris Ford. And Darryl Dawkins comes back for Philadelphia. And Bobby Jones sits down.
This is a defensive move by Bill Fitch to put Carr in the game. Hollins is hot. Try to put a bigger man on him. Probably come back when they get on the offense with the 2 offensive guards, Tiny and Ford.
Bird's free throw. A 2-point Philadelphia lead. 2:45 to go. Bird 30 points. More than his season's average. More than his playoff average. Henderson on Tony. Dr. J. Watched by Maxwell. Dawkins. McHale the foul. McHale bumped Dawkins, and so Darryl will go to the line, 3 to make 2.
That's a nice move by Darryl Dawkins. Gets McHale in the air, leans into him. It's a foul, good call, and tries to shoot the basketball. So if he had an opportunity to make the hoop, at least he gets 3 for 2 right now. Nice play by Darryl.
Billy Cunningham, but Tiny Archibald is back in the game now. In fact, the Celtics starting guard tandem as Julius is sitting down with 2:29. Why at this time?
I would say this is the defensive-offensive move. Keep Doc out on the defensive end, but he was doing a fine job on denying the ball to Bird. Put him back in when you get an opportunity. It's almost like a 2-platoon system.
Still has 2 on the penalty. Darryl Dawkins, who has struggled in his own right, but not tonight. He has 17 points and has played a solid game. He has 5 fouls, but so has a lot of other people.
It's the most solid game that Darryl's played, and it's been a difference because he's outplayed their centers in this game.
Thinking about Doc's great pride in the defensive play he's performed in this series.
He has pride in everything he does. He was a great defensive player when we wanted him to be against guys like Thompson and other people. He's a great player.
4-point lead for Philadelphia. 2:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. It's coming down to this for the Boston Celtics as Larry Bird off balance and it goes out of bounds. Philadelphia ball, and now it's getting touch and go time for the Celtics.
That's not the shot they wanted. Larry Bird forced that shot. He overdid it a little bit. It's an off balance shot going to the left. He doesn't need to take that shot.
2 minutes and 10 seconds. We're getting down to the final 2 minutes. The Celtics are down by 4. If they don't come back in this game and win it, they're through. They're through and they go home. Less than 2 minutes to go. Bobby Jones. Dawkins misses the tip. What a physical game as two players, Dawkins and Bird, go banging into each other out of bounds. And they say, did they call a foul or is it Philadelphia ball? It's on Bird. They call a foul on Larry.
A loose ball foul on Larry Bird. That'll be 2 shots for Dawkins, 1-on-1. There was only 1 second left on the shot clock when that was called. Boston's going to need a timeout. They have to get a good shot in the next possession down the floor. Probably should take a timeout and take it out at half court.
1:51 on the clock. The Celtics could be eliminated for the second year in a row in 5 games as Dawkins hits them both. And there you have the Boston timeout. A 6-point lead for Philadelphia. And the Celtics have 2 timeouts remaining in this game. The Celtics' future is riding on the line, and that's how much time they have left. Philadelphia can win the Eastern Finals if they hold on to this lead with 1:51 remaining in the 4th quarter. You can hear a pin drop in the Boston Garden right now, but nothing would set them off more dramatically than if the Celtics can put on a spurt here in the final time. And Kevin, Boston has been struggling all game just to stay in it. They had the lead. Philly had the biggest lead. What happens now?
Boston has to score, I think, in this possession, or they're in serious trouble. Whether they'll go, I don't think it's a little too early to go for the 3-point play. They should take the ball out at half court. Work the play, don't rush it. Make sure you get a good shot, and hopefully they'll go in for them.
Have they done the right thing since Bird's been back in the lineup?
I think they have. Bird did force 1 shot, but that's his natural competitiveness, but they've done the right thing.
All right, Bird will inbound. It's Bird, Archibald, Parrish, Ford, and Maxwell. Tony, Hollins, Caldwell Jones, Bobby Jones, and Dawkins for Philadelphia.
Bobby, it's on you.
Philadelphia's future in basketball this season lies right now. Bird threw it away, and Dawkins intercepts it. The clock ticks 1:40. Dawkins intercepts Bird's pass, and now they want to use up a lot of that clock. Celtics have 2 timeouts remaining. Philadelphia 3 plus a 20. Tony gets in. Good block by Maxwell. Saved 2 points. Celtics have to score. 1:24 remaining 4th quarter. Tiny working against Tony. He gambled. The basket good and a foul. Big play for Tiny.
What a big play. Tiny decided I'm going 1-on-1 solo with Tony. He just backs him in. He posts him up right here. This is one of the smallest men in the league in a post play. 3-point opportunity. Boston's right back in the game.
109, 105, and a chance to be a 3-point game as ML Carr comes in for Chris Ford, and this is the defensive substitution. You'll see Chris coming in shortly again.
Also, Dr. J's back in for Philadelphia on the offensive moves. It's almost like a football situation where the coach will get the offensive players in. When they have the ball, reverse it for the defensive players when they have to go on defense.
All right, 1:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. There's Julius Erving. Philadelphia has the ball. Boy, look at Tony telling Dawkins where to go. He's only a rookie.
Great leadership from a rookie in this stage of his career.
3-point lead. Boston needs good a defense as they've had all year, right, in this segment and the next. Dawkins away from the hoop. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Andrew Tony shot blocked. But Philadelphia gets it back, and Jones loses it out of bounds. Boston ball. What a block underneath, though.
2 fine defensive plays by Parrish. Now they'll probably reverse and get the defensive and offensive players back in the game. Here they come.
Caldwell Jones.
Ford coming in for Boston.
Right. And we're going to see that till the very last second, I think, Kevin. That's the time remaining, 55 seconds. 3-point game. Chris Ford and Archibald. Tony goes out. As Kevin pointed out, Caldwell Jones in there. Going to the hoop, Bird. He could not be denied. Larry Bird brings the Celtics to win 1 point. Utter drama here at Boston Garden.
Philadelphia needs a timeout to make sure they get the right play.
And they got it. Timeout. Philadelphia left with 2 timeouts and a 20. 39 seconds remaining. Philadelphia leading by a point. It's up to Boston's defense now. The screws have tightened considerably here. The Celtics still trailing. Philadelphia has the ball, 39 seconds to play in the fourth quarter, but they have only 15 seconds to get the shot off, Kevin.
Right now, Andrew Toney's going to be involved in setting the pick. Dr. J's obviously on the floor. I would say either one of them two players would take this shot, but Hollins all game has hit the big shot when Philadelphia's needed it. Look, he's on the floor. He's liable to take it and go solo himself.
Tony comes back for his offense. He has scored in this game 20 points. Hollins is 23, Dawkins 21, and Jay has 21. Bird 32 leads everyone. 39 seconds to play, fourth quarter. Philadelphia 15 seconds to get the shot off. The Celtics season rides in defense right here. Bird guarding Bobby Jones, and you'll see it unfold. M.L. Carr can't save it.
M.L. Carr almost made a great save. He just lost it a little, knocked it out of bounds. Now we have 14 seconds. Philly is taking another timeout.
And they'll be left with 1 plus the 20 now. 1 timeout plus the 20.
That is a very good timeout by Philadelphia. They want to make sure they get the ball where they want. They'll get it down the sideline line in a different position. Good timeout by Billy Sick.
So with that timeout, Philadelphia will inbound, and right now the entire Philadelphia coaching staff, Billy Cunningham talking to Earl Strahm. He wants to know why, if the shot clock went from 15 to 14, why didn't the game clock go from 39 to 38?
Well, it could be off a little bit. There could be a tick off in the 24-second clock, and it's not actually related to the game clock, but that always seems to happen when you're on the road.
Well, I'll tell you another thing, and the point is that sometimes it could be a fraction of a second left on one clock and 9/10 on the other. It may be confusing, but the 39 will probably tick off in a hurry. Bobby Jones, who has the big role here for the inbound pass, how important is it?
That's very key. The man taking the ball out of bounds, usually one of the smartest players, and make sure he knows he has timeout. Very key.
Bird will watch the inbounds passer, Bobby Jones. They stack up, and the pass goes to Dawkins, and I think they turned it over. The officials say no.
I think that ball went off Dawkins. I'm not sure.
I think it did too, because it was right to the left of us, and now Evans talks to Strahm. Here it is.
Hugh Evans is going to talk to Strahm. Here's the play.
Yes, it's Boston ball.
That is an excellent job by the officials. No, they gave it back to Philadelphia. Excuse me.
Philadelphia ball. Tony outside. The crowd is yelling for a palming call. They don't get it. 3 seconds on the clock. And Philadelphia now will get 5 seconds on the shot clock, which benefits them. And on the game clock, 29 seconds. 109, 108, Philadelphia. The Celtics live could be coming to an end this season. Loose ball. Out of bounds. Bird picks it up, did not go out of bounds. Larry shot, banks, no good. Here comes M.L. Carr, no good. A foul though. A foul with 20 seconds to go. A foul, and Boston can take the lead.
As we talk, getting the ball inbounds is not easy on them plays. A turnover, Bird picks it up.
Pull close to the line.
He had an opportunity to pass it to Parrish, but he said, I'm taking it myself all the way. Here comes the offensive boards by Carr. He's fouled by Dr. J. 3 for 2 gives him an opportunity to go up by 1 point.
Dr. J commits the 4th foul. Carr 7 for 9 from the free throw line of the playoffs. Billy Cunningham doesn't want to go back and play in Philadelphia. 20 seconds to go in the game. The Sixers are up by 1, and needless to say, he's got to make the free throws, and then Boston has to go play the defense again.
Exactly right. You have 20 seconds left in the basketball game. 2 free throws. If he makes both, he puts him up by 1 point. Philly has a timeout left and a 20-second timeout. Should call timeout, take it at half court.
Tie score. Carr can put him in front. Bill Fitch paces back and forth. High drama in Boston Garden in game number 5.
What more can you ask for a basketball game to go down like this in the last 20 seconds?
Timeout, Philadelphia, or 20-second time. So they now have 1 plus a 20. We're going to stay right here. And now, with a 1-point lead, that's what they've got to get the ball in the basket.
Philadelphia right now has to go quickly. They're down a point. They got plenty of time to get a good shot, but they can't let it run down.
Let's listen.
All right, now bring it down here. They bring it down. Okay, now we're looking like we have a 33.
to go one-on-one and try to take it to the basket for the least get fouled. What better man could you have going one-on-one than Dr. J?
Philadelphia led by 6 with 1:28 to go. The Celtics have scored 7 straight points. 110-109. They lead 20 seconds to go. Here it comes. Hollins. We watch the clock. It's okay. Hollins across the line with Gerald Henderson defending. Bobby Jones to Irving. Dr. J trap. Bobby Jones inside. Lays it up. It's short. ML Carr the rebound with 3 seconds to go. And the Celtics will win. 1 second. Foul. 1 second.
This game is not over. Boston can make the 2 foul shots. Philadelphia will still have time for 3-point play. And actually, there should be 1 more second on the clock. The foul happened with 2 seconds left in the game.
The Celtics are celebrating. They haven't won it, and the crowd is all over the court. And it's going to take some time to clear it.
This is a sensational basketball game. It's not over yet. Philadelphia has a timeout. They can take it out. Bobby Jones driving to the basket, misses the left-handed shot. Rebound by Carr. He'll eventually get fouled with 2 seconds left on the clock. He holds the ball. Here will come the foul right here. Should be 2 seconds left. Philly should ask for another second, and 2 seconds is plenty time to get off a 3-point play.
A very crucial foul and an alert foul by Philadelphia. A big foul by the 76ers because that gave them enough time, the 2 seconds, to allow the 3-point possibility. Dr. J committed the foul. The Celtics have to make the 2, and then you look for the 3. Here's the
foul right here. Dr. J reaches in and fouls ML Carr. 1 second is still plenty enough time for Philadelphia to get off a good 3-point opportunity. They have some people on their club that can make the long jumper from the 3-point range.
And the fans have encircled this court right now. The fans have encircled the court, waiting to explode if the Celtics can ultimately win this game.
One other thing, Dick, the foul shots have not been made. You have a decision on Boston's part whether to miss one of the foul shots and let the clock run out. Make just one to make it a 2-point game and miss the other 2 to let the clock run out on the rebound.
What do you do?
I think I would try to make both of them, but I've seen it happen before.
ML Carr hit the 2 big free throws and drew the foul and played tremendous defense at the other end. Let's see if he deliberately misses the free throws. He does.
Yes, he is. He's going to miss the next one also.
There's 1 second to go. They didn't put the clock back to 2. ML Carr going to make Philadelphia go 94 feet. They miss it. Dawkins the rebounds, timeout, and there's still 1 second to go. And I believe that because I think that, as you pointed out, there were 2, and I think they legitimately have 1 second to go to try to win the game or tie the game down by 2. Good strategy by ML Carr.
I pointed out 2 seconds. We pointed out 2 seconds, but I still think on the clock there was only 1 second left, and that's dangerous now. Philadelphia can make a 3-point basket and win the basketball game. They have an opportunity to win it.
Doc, you're going to see the screen. Darryl, you got a headhunt, Darryl. Got to get that man right here now. What we got to do is we got to get the jump shot, the quick one. As soon as it hits your hands, you got to turn and fire. Okay? Now, look for that. Okay, Bobby, Doc, you're stepping out. Look for that. If you can't, you got to look to go directly to Darryl, Bobby. Okay, you got to look for something. Okay, now, Andrew, you come off, get near the 3, look for it. Fine, you got a 5.
You're going to be playing for that.
Fine, you got to get some good screens up.
Right now, Tony's got an opportunity to take the 3-point play, so does Dr. J. I say that Dawkins will end up taking a jump shot. Whether he'll make it or not, that's what we're here to find out.
The 76ers are 1 for 16 in these playoff games in the 3-point area. Tony, 1 for 9. He has hit the only 3-point play the 76ers have in the playoffs. Philadelphia is out of timeouts completely.
Boston has two. They've got to get that quick open jump shot.
Darryl Dawkins, I think, will be the man. It's usually the center with the best opportunity to get open. I think he'll get open and have a jump shot.
They're clearing the side of photographers, spectators, reporters, as Bobby Jones will inbound and Bird will try to harass his vision. 1 second to go, and I think they're just going to have time to get a hold of the ball and let it go, Kevin.
Bird should play the pass and be very aggressive.
All right, here it is. 1 second. Boston up by 2. Trying to go to Philly for game 6. Intercepted. It's over. The Boston Celtics, who are down by 6 points with 1:28 to go, and Bill Fitch is a winner tonight, and Larry Bird is being pounded.
Larry Bird's the MVP of the game. What do you think, Dick?
I'd have to go with him, no question about it. I'd have to go with it. 111 to 109. If Philly had won, I would have liked Lionel Hollins, but Bird came back in the final crucial moments and did it when he had to do it.
He was terrific. I think Bill Fitch did a great job. Invested him for a little while.
They are going wild in Boston Garden, where the Celtics have prevailed so many times in crucial games in the Boston Garden, and now all the Celtics have to do is win game number 6 Friday night in the Spectrum, where they haven't won in 11 tries, and we will be with you on most of these stations around the country for the game Friday night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, with the 6th game of the series, the Celtics trying to break the jinx. And our Miller High Life Most Valuable Player Award to Larry Bird for the obvious reasons. Mr. Clutch down the stretch as Boston scored 8 points. The Miller $1,000 donation will be made to the Special Olympics on behalf of Larry Bird. And is he terrific? Bird scored 32 points. Bob Stenner, our senior producer. Chuck Milton has been our producer here in Boston. Tony Verna, another fine job directing our broadcast. Joan Vetrano, Doug Schmidt, Debbie Needleman, and the rest of our operations, technical, and production crew. Fine job, and you can't beat the terrific drama at Boston Garden, where the Celtics have survived. For Kevin Lockery, this is Dick Stockton saying so long. The preceding